The high press is essentially an offensive weapon when you don't have possession. The aim of pressing high is to win the ball back high up the pitch in the final third or at least the opposition's half, where you can then look to attack quickly, exploiting the space vacated by the opposition, being in a wider possession shape and having players out of position to then look to create goal scoring opportunities. But in this video we'll be focusing solely on how to press high up the pitch, both from a tactical and individual point of view. So when pressing you can go with either a man-to-man or a zonal press. However, if you are looking to press aggressively, a man-to-man press is probably going to be the more effective option, as with each player having a designated player to press, the chances of one of the opposition players managing to find space and receive a pass is a lot lower than in a zonal marking system, where a lapse in concentration or a positional error can open up a passing lane and allow the opposition to bypass your whole press. However, there are different ways of pressing high. Firstly, a more conservative approach would be to press man-to-man but with a slight zonal influence. Here on the tactics board you can see that whilst the team in black are going man-to-man in midfield, with the central midfielders on the opposition central midfielders, and the wide midfielders ready to move out and press the opposition fullbacks, we aren't going man-to-man at the back, having a spare defender against the opposition's front three. And so because we have a spare man at the back, it means that the opposition will have a spare man in their defensive third. And so in order to negate this advantage, we want to use clever positioning in order to stop the opposition having an overload. And we can do this by forcing the opposition over to one side of the pitch, having one of the forwards press from the side in order to cut off the pass back to the goalkeeper or across the box, cutting off the opposition's options on the left side of the pitch and essentially condensing the pitch into a smaller area on the right. And this is imperative when pressing. The bigger the area of play, the easier it's going to be for the opposition to play out of your press, but the smaller the area is, the less space there is between your players, allowing them to get out and apply pressure to the opposition's deeper lying players a lot quicker. And you can see here in this example, we are now man to man on the right side, practically covering all the passing options for the centre back with the ball, as one of the centre forwards applies pressure while simultaneously stopping a pass going back across goal to the other side of the pitch. However, against elite level sides, simply having a man or two less in the build-up phase is going to give them a significant advantage, and so it's probably a better option to either drop off and not press as high, but conserve space in behind and between the lines, or move to a full man-to-man press, pressing more aggressively. And this would come from going man-to-man 3v3 at the back with a high back line, probably pushing one of the fullbacks up the flank into a position to press the opposition's fullback, whilst one of the centre-backs comes out into a wide position to cover that space, which can then allow one of your wide players to shift in field, giving you more players in the centre of the pitch and allowing you to go man-to-man with a front two pressing the centre-backs, as well as going man-to-man on the opposition's central midfield as well. From here, when the opposition look to play out, as long as you can block off the pass back to the goalkeeper, who will of course still be a free man, then you're able to go man-to-man all over the pitch, meaning that if the centre-back plays a pass into the midfield, your pressing players are in a position to immediately pressurise them when they receive the ball with the back to goal. And if you can win the ball in this position, you are in a fantastic area to then attack quickly and get into a shooting position inside of the box. Alternatively, even if the centre-back doesn't play a pass into the centre, he's going to be forced to either go long, in which case if you have individual defenders in the back line who are physically robust, quick and good front foot and aerial defenders, you should be able to win possession back more often than not. Your players on the far side can also tuck in, as they don't have to sit as wide with the opposition players when the ball is on the other side of the pitch. Instead, this narrow position gives you more bodies in the centre, not only condensing the space for the opposition in the centre of the pitch, but also putting your attackers in prime central positions to attack directly if the ball is won back, known as the counter press. If the pass goes into the opposition fullback on the flank, your fullback can then squeeze up to apply pressure, with the rest of your defensive shape shifting over to condense the space further, likely forcing the fullback into a pass up the line, which your left-sided centre-back can look to win. From an individual standpoint, your players need to be aggressive on the front foot, but also composed as well, as they can't be rash, as this will lead to yellow cards and subsequently maybe reds, or at the very least forcing your players to be hesitant in the press for the rest of the game. And we saw this in the Arsenal-Manchester City game at the start of the season, where Kovacic first dived into a challenge on Martin Odegaard, received a yellow card, and then did the same thing to Declan Rice, as he looked to win the ball back high up the pitch. Even though he didn't receive a second yellow, he was certainly fortunate, showing how important it is for your pressing players to hold their nerve, stay on their feet, and apply pressure that way, rather than going to ground and diving into high-risk challenges. Another danger is that by going man to man at the back, one long ball upfield alongside a positional error from one of your defenders, allowing the opposition forward to run off them, could lead to a 1v1 opportunity. And so that's why you need not only fast and physical defenders, but also a goalkeeper that can come off his line and sweep up in behind your high back line in order to negate this. So that's the basic tactical and individual understanding of a high press. If you like this video, remember to subscribe to the channel and check out some of our other videos as well.